to the podcast Owlnet with You. My name is Evil Twin 2. You can find me as Evil Twin 2 on Ravelry and Instagram. Look for our group Owlnet with You on Ravelry. You can find the blog with show notes at owlnetwithyou.blogspot.com, or you can email me at owlnetwithyou@gmail.com. Ooh, said them all right this week. I've missed you guys. How are you? I was unable to record last week because I was so sick I really couldn't have talked for longer than like 4 minutes without having a coughing fit. And I couldn't talk very loud anyways because my voice was pretty much shot. But I had a good couple of weeks. I have like no finished object. No, I have some finished objects, just not big finished objects. So, man, I feel like a lot happened, but there's not much to talk about. There was a primary election for the candidates who will be decided to run in the next election in November. Like, who's going to be the governor's candidates and stuff like that. And I work at a news station, and if you guys follow me on Instagram, you might have seen this kind of confusing picture, which I realized later, I was like, they probably have no idea what's going on. During most elections at my news station, I run social media, so I keep people up to date on Twitter, and I respond to people on Facebook and stuff like that, and I make sure all our news stuff gets posted to those outlets. So it's really fun and cool to get paid to do social media, because I feel like, you know, I do that anyway, so it's interesting to do it for a news station. So I had a lot of fun doing that. Other than that, the weather's been getting nicer, and I feel like I've had less time to sit in it because things are starting to get busy. My brother's getting married, so I'm working some on that. I've been just busy. I don't know, just busy doing a whole lot of nothing. I took one of my friends who'd never been to a real yarn store to a yarn store last weekend. That was pretty fun. But it's going to be a little bit loud because there's been a lot of cars that are loud all day long. So anyway, we have some new faces in the group. But my list is not nearly as long as it usually is, and it makes me super sad. So if you have not introduced yourself yet in the group, please do, because when we get to 100, I'm going to draw for a prize again. And if you don't join the group, then you can't introduce, I mean, you could introduce yourself, I guess, without joining the group, but why would you want to? We have lots of fun things going on right now, besides introduction stuff. You can do our Sock Along with Us, and that runs from now to the end of April, and you're just making socks, no hurry. It's more of a learning experience for people who haven't done socks before. We have a sock prep questions thread where you can ask questions before you start, and then the socket thread, which is where you can post like in between questions, like if you're just not sure how to do that heel flap yet or something like that, post a question there and we'll help you figure it out. So oh, and there's also a Hex Puff thread called Strut Your Puffs. And I post in there, I feel like, a lot. So, come strut your puffs with me, guys. So, we have 5 new people. The Hales Knit from Haley. Oh, no, wait. Hales Knit is Haley from Wisconsin. Absolutely Kathy is Kathy from North Carolina. Natasha LeBlanc is Natasha from Canada. A lot of Canadians. Loved it. Critter Kid is Christina from Oregon. And Sanders is Sandra from Michigan. I was not home this week as much as I usually am, so if I missed somebody, I will mention you next week. But maybe send me a PM so I realized I mentioned you. I did not mean to. My whiteboard did get erased at some point. I keep all my information on a whiteboard. And got a little swiped, and I couldn't read anything, so it was kind of sad. Put my whiteboard back up here. So what are you guys up to? I have been reading a lot. I have been listening to audiobooks more recently, and then all of a sudden I was like, I need to read this Divergent book that everyone's been talking about. And I read the first one in less than 24 hours, and I finished the second one already. I'm in the third one. I'm like halfway done. They're super fast reads. They are really good, and I thought the movie had already come out, so I was a little bummed out. I was like, oh, the movie's not out yet. I have to wait now. So I plan on going and seeing it this weekend, so I'll have to tell you how it is. But other than that, I've been doing a lot of miniature work, I guess. So let me grab my not quite a faux threads over here. So this all goes under Blobbins, which is what I talk about. I don't think that can go. This is all Blobbins. Blobbins is where I have spun things I have spun, things I'm spinning, things. Actually, it's just those two. Things I have spun, things I'm spinning. Maybe future spinning projects that I want to talk to you about. And I have a whole goodie box full. So I showed you a couple weeks ago my fat fiber stuff. And a lot of this is the samples that I have spun up and I intend to make mostly hex puffs with. Some things might be something else, but most of them are going to be hex puffs. Like this. Well, not like this. This just is. This is Ratatouille. It is super bumpy right now because I have not washed this one yet, but that's okay. It has blues and pinks and browns in there. And if you want to see who created this sample, you're going to have to look at my page because I lost the card for it. But if you go to my my stash, or it'll be my stash, or my all used up fiber page, you can see who does it. I creep on your guys' profiles, you can creep on mine for once. I'm not going to hurt my feelings, that's for sure. Then I did the new zombie on the block. This is Luthvarian Fiber Arts. I didn't lose the card for this one. It is greens with flecks of like sorry, it does have a fiber content. How about I just read that? Colombian, Corriedale Silk, and Angelina. So it has kind of a shine to it. Some of these are really bumpy because I haven't washed them, but I just had a lot of fun spinning them, so I wanted to show you. But I actually spun this on St. Patrick's Day, so it felt right. Like, yeah, that's what I should be doing on St. Patrick's Day. This is in a bag, and it's hard to open. It's like a sealed shut. This is Ashland Bay Merino in the Loch Ness colorway. And my phone is going off. And the brand is Friends in Fiber. It is a lot of forest greens and navies. And I had a lot of fun spinning this one up. Shh. You don't need any attention right now. Talking to my phone. But it was so much fun. My camera won't focus. Focus camera. Look at that. There we go. It was awesome. I liked it a lot. I don't think I had trouble spinning these. Like, it's almost pretty small, so it's not like they're going to cause that much problem anyway. But everything went really smooth, and I just had a really good time. I can usually get through... Sorry, I found the bag for something else in here. I can usually get through 2 samples a night if I spin it on my spinning wheel, which is ridiculous because it's so little amount of fiber, but I do it anyway. But I spin it on my spinning wheel, and then I learned a new way to ply that I'm going to show you here pretty soon. So, this is Seuss's Svenderheim, 50% merino, 50% bamboo. Here's the, I know I'm not going to say it right, so there it is. And here is that one. It is red. Oh, there's a hair on it. I'm so sorry. Not a lamb hair, though. It's not a sheep hair. It's my hair. I did spin it. I was in the room with it. So it's reds and pinks and whites, and there's actually some black in there, but it didn't really show up in my finished. But there wasn't a whole lot of it to begin with, so I guess that's okay. This one came in a little lunch bag. That was so cute. This is one of my favorite colorways that I spun. It is Lady Llama Fiber. I should be showing you cards. Cards are fun. Lady Llama Fiber. And it was greens and reds and blacks. And that's exactly what it looks like. It's very true to color. But that one I think was my favorite. There's a lot of these don't have information as far as fiber content goes in them because they're a sample, which is sad. Some of them did, and that's cool. But I tell you what I know. I'm not trying to skip over any details. Okay, so the next brand, I had a couple misconceptions about what was going on, so let me talk to you about that. This is Quantum Dots from Porpoise Fibers, and it's the fiber content is Dorset Horn. Now, I have not been in the fiber world very long. I'm still learning a lot of things. So when I see porpoise fur, I don't think it's a joke, I guess. And then I saw Dorset horn, which kind of sounds like dorsal fin. And I thought that this was from a dolphin. And I told my boyfriend that this was dolphin fur. And he said, well, however they get it, it's probably inhumane. And I was like, no, that can't be right. And so I went and looked it up. It's a sheep, you guys. Dorset horn is a sheep. And it's not a dolphin at all. So this is my not a dolphin colorway. This is actually a single ply. I did the hot, cold, quick bath washes. And I didn't really spin it very thick. But I think it looks just freaking gorgeous. Sorry if you don't like the word freaking, but it is. It looks freaking gorgeous. And if you want to know what quantum dots are, you can go and look that up, because I am not a scientist and I am not quite sure. And it's not quite a rainbow, but it's scientific, and quantum dots are this color. Like, these are the colors of quantum dots. And so that's what she wanted to do, because last month's theme was geekery. And so a lot of the fiber names and yarn names were based on something that's geeky. A lot of Lord of the Rings stuff, really. But I love it. It's so pretty. It's super crazy thin. I have no idea what weight that is. It's probably not lace weight. But I've knit some pretty thin hexapuffs, which I will show you momentarily. I have a lot of blobbins this week. A lot of spinning stuff going on in my life. Whew. Okay. I showed you last week that I was working on the rest of my Merida Merino, and I was going to chain ply it so it actually striped this time. And I finished that up, which of course I did because I needed to clear off my spindles, not my spindles, my bobbins, which is why it's called bobbins. Come on, Rebecca. So it is gorgeous. It is done. It is lovely. I cannot wait to make something with it. And I'm not telling you yardage because my whiteboard's only so big, and I didn't write it down. I did know that I usually get like less than 20 yards of each of my samples, and I got like 77 yards on my single ply, which is an indication of how ridiculous that is. So this was great. I realized when I was making this one that all this time I've been doing my math wrong for yardage, so I've overestimated on everything before this one by like 6 inches. I was dividing by like 60 or 30, and I don't know why. And they don't either make sense. So I need to go back and like remeasure a lot of stuff, but I'm not going to. I'm just gonna be like, that was dumb, and move on with my life. So this is gorgeous. This again is 100% merino. I got it from Fashion Touch Supplies on Etsy, and it is the picture. This is the same fiber as the yarn I made that is the picture of I'll Knit With You. So it was kind of fun to spin. I had thought I spun it all and then had set aside 30 grams of it that got set behind a pillow, and I found it later and I was really sad. I was like, no, I thought I was all done. And it's not that it isn't a joy to spin with, it's just sometimes when you think you finished the project and you find out there's 30% of your project left, it's a little bit of a bummer. So that's all that happened. I'm gonna put this stuff back in my box. I should have like a to show and then have a show box. That would make a lot of sense. Maybe I'll work on that for next week. So I have been spinning a ton of miniature things, and I was like, listen, I need to spin some full-on big old projects. And I've showed you guys in the past my little basket of fiber, and I'm spinning my fiber backwards chronologically. So the oldest fiber gets spun first, and that way there's nothing sitting in my stash and languishing for too long, because fiber is fiber, and it's all fun to spin, and some of it's just different colors than the other. So that's the only big difference between most of my fiber stuff. So I have been spinning this. It's actually an Ashford fiber that came with my wheel, or my mom bought it, so it was shipped with my wheel. It is 80% New Zealand merino, 20% silk in the Damson colorway. It is 22 micron. Can someone explain to me what the micron thing is about? I know micron is a way of measuring something, and I need to just look it up. But I don't understand why more or less microns is more or less desirable. So if someone could explain that to me, I'd really appreciate it. So here it is. It is gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Focus, focus. There are blues, there are purples, there are whites. It's not quite this royal blue. It's more this side color. But what are you gonna do? I just gotta like shield it with my hand. Don't look at that. There we go. That's exactly what it is. See that like darker blue? That is what is going on. I bet yeah. So actually now this part's right again. I don't know what to say. So it is awesome. It is super easy to spin. It just wants to be what it is, and I love it. And I've been playing a lot with my fiber prep. I just took a pen and rolled some of the prepared fiber. I don't have a drafting board, so I didn't like make real poonies, but I made some little fake poonies, some little poonettes. But they are not my favorite to spin from on my spinning wheel, but they also are super fake, and that's probably why. So I'm not very offended. And these are just the lengthwise of my whiteboard marker. I am not obsessed with my whiteboard. What are you talking about? But you can also see the fiber a lot better there. It has a little more white than you can see in the bobbin. And I'll show you a big lump of the fiber because it's just so freaking pretty. I need to stop saying that. Okay. It's real stinking pretty. How about that? Get this little piece of fiber. And you can really see the purple in this, I think. Look at it. It's gorgeous. Love it. This doesn't have a weight. It's 100 grams total. So I'm spending 50 grams on one spindle and 50 grams on the other spindle. And really quick, let me show you that super fancy fun new way of applying that I have. Yeah, we're gonna wait just a little bit longer on that. I'll show you the applying thing in a minute. So I've got a couple other things to show you. So my woes and my woes. My woes and my woes. That's what I'm trying to say. Everything right now is whoa. Nothing's making me go whoa. Whoa, dude. You need to calm down. I've been working on my socks. Have you guys been working on yours? I am doing 2 at a time. Toe up with a difference. Toe up with a difference is the name of the pattern. And they're just super crazy vanilla socks. Super crazy vanilla socks. I know that doesn't make any sense. Let me tell you what it means to be ironic. And these socks make me really angry. But not really angry, just like nearly angry. So I'll show you. So I had tried forever to get my socks to match. Look what they're doing. They match, but they don't match. Like the stripes match. Like they're striping at the same time. But the socks themselves, not a match. They are actually going in opposite directions. So you see here, it's gray, brown, red, and this is going gray, brown, and then to a red. Yeah, my yarn was going backwards. That's why it wouldn't match. But I think they're turning out really well. I have really, really, really tiny feet. So I'm about to turn the heel pretty soon. Probably in like less than half an inch, I think. These are on 1.5s from Knit Picks. And they're in the Caspian needles. Ooh, look, it's focusing on those. Aren't they so pretty? I can't usually get to focus. And they have a green cord. Oh look, I'm in the cord. Hi guys, how's it going? Dork, but you love me. So that is awesome. And you guys, this Skinny Cardigan, this Jenny Cardigan, whatever your name is, girl, you need to get done. You were on a deadline and you are not going fast at all. I had attached my sleeves, which only makes it go twice as slow. I don't know, I've just not really been enjoying it lately because my friend already finished hers and I feel like I'm behind. And it's just massive. 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 I'm not tiny, okay? Big sweaters, don't make fun. But here is the centerpiece on the back. I actually moved it to a 60-inch needle so you guys can see everything. Doing some stripes. I've got my last color on there. It's not very big stripe-wise. It's like a whole row. It's a light yellow. What's going on here? I thought I lost the stitch. Okay, we're good. But yeah, sleeves are on. They pretty much match. They'll match better when they're not sagging or having red fiber on them. They pretty much match up. I can't really, there we go. Pretty much match up. Everything looks the way it's supposed to look. looks really big right now, but it has to wrap around my lusciously large body. I'm not that big, but I'm pretty luscious. Let me just tell you. I do not have a negative body image. Not even a little bit. Probably to my deficit. So those are my works in progress. I have to finish the rest of, I'm about like here, I guess. I need to get up here. And then I'll need to do the button band and the pockets. On my sweater, and my sweater will be done. And I already have buttons for those, which you can see in my first episode. Or you can just wait till I'm done with the sweater and I'll show you them again. And what else do I have to show you? Those are all my works in progress right now. Tapping them like this. Bless my little heart. So, as far as FOs go, I have been, I should have left all the stuff out of the box. Let me take all the stuff out of the box, you guys. I've been on a Hexipuff, we'll say frenzy. I've been on a Hexipuff frenzy, that's fair. That's allowed. I'll say it. It happened. No going back. And I've been trying to use all the samples that I've ended up from my Fat Fiber box, which is kind of fun because then I just really use the yarn that's sent in sample size. And there's a lot of yarn that I'm like, I'm writing this down. I need to buy something from these people. This is awesome yarn. But before I do that, I had talked about how my Quantum Dots was crazy thin. Well, the Wonder Woman that I had spun, the Wonder Woman sample I had spun, is super, super thin. And this seemed like an understuffed puff. So you can see the stuffing through there actually a little bit, but it's no big deal. I mean, I love it. And the way you tie your Hexipuff blanket, or the way you seam your Hexipuff blanket, you're just putting in, like, I know. And you put it in a little thread between the three, and then that way if one of them gets ruined or has a hole in it, you can just take it out, get a new one, stick it in. Super easy. Some people go like crazy seaming theirs, and that's a bad idea, because what if one of them breaks? So, Hexipuff 1, not very stuffed, I was still learning. Hexipuff 2, very pretty, very shiny. I ran out of yarn, and I used a different yarn on the end of it. This yarn goes, I use that yarn just as extras, I think. So I also use it on this one, which the other half is Merida Merino. Look at it, it's so much fun. Not a puff. This is actually from the first time I spun it, so you can see that it is barber pulled and not striping. But I'm getting there. I gotta finish up that little, I have like 7 yards left. I was like, we'll just start in some stuff. That same color was also used with this. And if you want to see the yarns that I used, again, I have put them all on my project page. There are so many yarns that I really can't keep track of them all because I have like a bunch of puffs to show you. I remember this one's called Unexpected Party, and that's based on Lord of the Rings, but I don't remember who did it, and that makes me sad because that was one of my favorite yarns of all the stuff. This one looks crazy because this is striped with, here's my fluorite, and then the blue stripes are all Heisenberg's Finest, and then I switched to Unexpected Party when I ran out of those because they're my puffs, and I like them to be very classy. And you can do puffs in multiple weights of yarn. So these are my bulky puffs. And this one's Lulu Dallas. And I'm not sure who did it, but it's from The Fifth Element. Love it. It's very cool. And this is just called Forest Moon. Forest Moon puff. Look at it. Marvelous. So those are all very exciting. And I tried... Okay, I knit more puffs than I should have because they're procrastination puffs. And my spinning is also spinning procrastination because I need to get this dang sweater finished. And I can't seem to focus on it. Like, I get so distracted. I'm just like, yeah, I could be working on my sweater. Or my socks need to turn to heel. Or I like to make some puffs now. Or Rebecca. Focus. Focus, Rebecca. So, before we get on to my Fat Fiber box, I do have other acquisitions for the mustache segment. I have an actual mustache on my finger. It's a tattoo. That's how it goes. So Knit Picks is having a, well, it's probably over now by the time you see this. Knit Picks was having a St. Patrick's Day sale, and being Irish, I could not pass it up. So I bought more fiber because that's what I needed in my life. And it is beautiful. Oh, that is so actually what it is. That is the actual color. It is crazy hard to photograph because the light is like, nah, not quite right. So this is Wool of the Andes Roving in the Aurora Heather colorway. What just fell off? Okay. Knit Picks Roving is like $5, you guys. Did you know this? Like, if you just needed like a secondary color or something, it is the base of all their yarn bases that can have fiber, I think. Holy crap. $5 for, how many ounces is this? I think it's 100 grams. 100 grams of unspun roving. And it is lusciously lovely. And I cannot wait to spin with it. It is freaking gorgeous. You just stop saying that word. Anyway, crazy excited about that. And this is something I've had my eye on forever. I watched the Woolen Vine Yarngasm podcast. And it's chroma fingering weight. And it does have the right ingredients. It's 70% wool, 30% nylon to be a sock, but it is single ply, so I haven't decided. But it just is a gradient colorway, and it is blues, and it is greens, and it's everything I love about life. Like, those are my favorite colors right there. Speaking of blue, I have been, like, constantly thinking lately about dyeing my hair blue. Not all of it, but starting with, like, a little back here. Because I thought the other day, like, what if I dyed my hair blue over my brown hair? Brownish red hair. Because I dyed my hair blue once before, and it really turned out green, and I hated it, and it was awful. I looked like some goofy mermaid or something. Not that I have anything against mermaids, but that was not what I was going for. So if I show up one day and my hair is blue, don't be surprised. But my brother's getting married, I need to be in his wedding. I need to have not ridiculous looking hair. So, my job, they don't really care what color your hair is, because I'm not on TV. I got my Fudge Fiber box, and this one was so packed, like, I tried to put it all back in there, and, like, it doesn't fit. Look at that. To the max. Back to the max. So, they also get patterns sometimes, so I did win a pattern. I'm trying to show you just the picture. It is a little mug cozy, and so that's pretty cool to have one that, this stuff keeps rolling out of my box. It's too full. Too full. And when you get a fat fiber box, you can pick just the fluff, mixed, or stitches, which is like just the yarn. And I picked mixed because I like a little bit of everything. So I will show you the fluff, then the yarn, then the extras, because I get extras, and they're so fun. So, I just don't drop anything. This is 10 grams of merino by, the theme this month was Inspiring Women by Bouldershine Woolworks. They don't have a name on this one. Sad. But look at it. It's just gray blue, and I love it. It's fantastic. And it kind of goes to a white. I haven't taken this all the way off yet, so I don't really want to yet, because I just want to be surprised a little bit. Sorry. I'm sure you'll see it when it's spun up. I show you guys everything. Everything, all the time. This is Blue Face Leicester. And this is in the Malala colorway. And Malala was this girl who was shot because she wanted to go to school. And she survived. And she's in a lot of Speaking in America. And if you haven't heard her, you need to go look her up. So here's her colorway. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. And, crinkle, crinkle, crinkle. That's just the sound of Happy New Fiber. That's what that sound is. If you don't like crinkle sound, you just don't like the sound of Happy Fiber, I guess. Teresa K. Rolag. This is BFL, Falkland, Silk Noil, Firestar, and Angelina. This is, I'm not sure. Okay, I think the name of it's Teresa K. And then the brand is Twin Mommy Creations. That looks like it's right. Look at that. It's so perfect. Oh, okay. Well, now it's not rolled up anymore. But it's very Eastery. And you can go and look up who Teresa K is. Should you accept this challenge. But look at that. I cannot wait to spin that and see what real Punies spin like. So there is theirs. And almost everybody puts a coupon code on their tickets, but their cards, but I'm not showing you that portion, obviously. And then if you buy from them, you can go brag about it on the Fat Fiber forums on their group. And then someone who has bought Fat will win the mega box, which has like everything in it. So this is beautiful. The Spinner's Cottage. It has 15% wool, 50% alpaca, 25% mohair, 10% silk. It has some Firestar. And it's in the Heather colorway, and it is 1/4 of an ounce. It's a bag. Ugh, and it's driving me batty. It's so bad. It's so pretty. What else is in here? This is, okay, so sometimes I get stuff that has locks in it, and I didn't get the one that usually has locks in it, but I got this instead, which has locks in it, so I'm super excited. This is the Affordables Folk and Fiber. This is local wash fleece, approximately 1/4 of an ounce Shetland Cross. Look at it. It's just fluffy nonsense. And you can see there are some crazy locks in here. Look at it. Camera, look at it. Or don't look at it. That's a fine jerk. But locks are just fun. And sometimes I just spin them the way they are, and sometimes I pull them apart and fluff them up. So I'm not sure what I'll do with this one, but it's exciting. It's exciting stuff. All right. This one is Mother Teresa. How cool. Get this out of here. This has Merino, Mohair, BFL, Bamboo, Silk, Firestar, and Angora. I'm sorry. I don't know what the last. Angelina Jolie apparently is also in this. No. Angora. Look at that. That is exactly the color that it is. It is this blue. And I was most excited about that one. I was like, I really hope I get that. Because like they have more fiber than I got because I got mixed. So I was like, I hope I get this one. I really want it. Shh. Phone wants my attention. And I said, no. This is Eleanor Roosevelt from woollyBully.etsy.com. It just makes me think of like springtime and flowers and happiness. Look at that fiber. I just want to play with it. This is why I get nothing done, because I just play with my fibers. Alas. This is Rita's Bedroom in Falkland. It is 4 ounces. I don't know what that part is. This is porpoise fur again. By the way, porpoise fur. This one's Falkland, so obviously not from a porpoise. You can actually see this pretty good through the bag. It's really packed in there. Then we got some Lady Llama fiber. She was the one in the little lunch bag earlier. And this is Not a Pretty Girl. It has BFL, Corriedale, X, Llama, Silk Noil, Wensleydale, Cotswold, Lamb Locks. So this one also has lamb locks, and the lamb locks are teal. Guys, it's so exciting. This is like really rusty looking, and I just want to touch it. That's why I'm showing you things. I really just want to touch it all again. I'm not gonna lie. I already got them all out and played with them once. It's just not enough. I need more touchings. This is the Lutherian Fiber Arts. They had that new zombie on the block last time. This is Henrietta Lacks. It has Corriedale, Bamboo, and Firestar. Oh, look at it. It makes me so happy. Do I have more fiber in here? I'm low on fiber. I'm out of fiber. Okay. So I also got a sample of soap from Three Waters Farm. Look at it. It smells really good. I can't really smell it right now, but I smelled it before my nose was stuffy. So, there you go. This is yarn from Shades of Light in the Jane colorway. 80% merino, 20% nylon. Then I'm not seeing any things that you shouldn't see, so I'm just gonna try and cover stuff up. There it is. Look, it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. This is Moon and Laughter hand-dyed yarn. And this is merino wool in the Emily Carr colorway. 15 yards of that. That's enough for a puff. This is Row of Pearls Antique Quilts. It is, there it is. 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. Look at it. Can you see that one? Yeah, you can right there. It just looks like kind of worn out quilt colors, but like the most comforting way ever. This is Georgia O'Keeffe Poppies. It's 100% superwash sock. Merino. 100% merino superwash sock. Did I say that? It has instructions on how to do. It is, oh, that's not the side where it says what food's best. This is by Ladybug Fiber Company. Look at it. It's lovely. It's so lovely. You'll see pony, or not ponies, you'll see, pups. You'll see them. This is Midnight Sun. And it's 75% superwash BFL, 25% nylon. This one's kind of hard to see, so I'll pull this one out. It's so taped up. Who's this by? Wandering Wool. I like their stuff. Oh, lovely. So lovely. So stinking lovely. And then this one is Wonderland Fiber on Etsy. And I know this is in like a noodle colorway. Something to do with noodles. They didn't... Maybe there's a card. No, it just says Wonderland Fiber Arts. Wonderland Fiber Arts. But I know this has something to do with like stir-fry noodles. So they have a little box. And it's a little dollop of noodles. A little dollop of noodles. I'm going to call noodles dollops from now on. Yes. So I also got a little bag for, you know, stitch markers or what have yous. This is by Petite Vache Designs. There's no colorway on this one, but it does have elephants, so get excited. There's my elephant. Petite Vache Designs. And if you want to know more about any of these, you can go to the Fat Fiber website and look them all up. So I got a little goodie bag, and in my goodie bag there are stitch markers. Oh yeah, there's more, and this was not expensive. So this is from Gloria Patre. I think that's how you'd say that. I'm looking for any accidental coupon codes. And it just says mother on it. I'm not a mother, but I will use that and think of my mother. I think that's okay. I think that's allowed. There's a lot of... I get a little bag of codes with some treats. I always like that. That's so cute. This one is... That is the coupon code. Who are you? Nudge Pudge by Courtney Phillips. And it is a little Star Trek one. It almost looks like a phone charm, but I'm sure I'll use it as a stitch marker. Oh, I'm sure I will. Sister of Maine. And this is in the colors of breast cancer awareness. Isn't that really pretty? That's really pretty. Oh, it kind of looks like a boobie. I see it. It kind of looks like a boobie. A little bit. I mean, they could have done a lot of things. They did that. Kind of looks like a boobie. I'm just saying. So let me show you what I was talking about with the new way that I play. Especially for samples. Especially for samples that are not very long. Of course, this is a knot, so now I have to go get scissors. Do I have to? I don't have to. I can use my fingernails, right? Sorry, I'm trying to untie this so I can give you an example of what I've been doing with my yarn to duply it. It is super dandy handy when you are plying something that is all going to be on the same spindle and you want to ply it. So you take your yarn, I'm going to get closer for this. You take your yarn and you wrap it around your pinky. Wrap it around your pinky. Go both ways a couple times. And this is mostly to secure it, to keep it out of the way. Now you're going to lean your middle finger, I'm not trying to say anything rude. You're leaning your middle finger forward. You're going to go behind it and around. In front of it, or behind it, whatever. So you're just going to keep going around. Like, it's all the way around, except you're going to skip and go back on this one. Oh, what? I've confused myself. Maybe if I show you from the side, it'll be easier. So you go behind, and up and around. Behind, and up and around. So eventually what will happen is you'll basically have a great big thing, and you're going to bend your finger down, pull that off, and undo this pinky thing, and you'll have a bracelet. And this is Andrian bracelet plying? I'm not sure. So then the way it works is you would have both ends, and they would both just kind of come off. Look at that. And that would all be twisted up and two-plied, if you just want to fold your yarn. And since you're folding your yarn and half of it's spun one way and half of it's facing the other way, you can continue spinning in the way that you were spinning your yarn to ply it, which is dangerous, but totally not illegal. And that's one of the things I taught myself this week. Thank you, internet. Thank you, internet. Oh my gosh, you guys. That was a lot of stuff. How long have I been talking? Probably for a month or something like that. Enough time for my phone to go off 4 times. So, that's all I have. It's a lot of fiber. It's a lot of spinning. It's a lot of spinning to be spun. Look at this. Look how big this is. This is my fat fiber box. Move to a different box. Ridiculous. If you don't buy fat, don't start. Because there's only so many boxes and I want them all. No. If you don't buy fat yet, you should try it out. You can go to their website and put your email address in, and they will give you a notification the next time that they are going to have a box on sale. And then you kind of get a heads up and you can plan, and they sell them at 10 a.m. Central Time and 5 p.m. Central Time. And there are only so many boxes, and they sell out in minutes. I mean, by the time I had got mine and finished checking out, there were no boxes left. Like, it's crazy. And insider tip, I hear the 5 o'clock one is easier to buy on. That's just what I hear. But what I do is I try at 10, and then if I miss a 10, I still have a second opportunity at 5, or if you just wait till 5 and you forget or something like that, then you're out of luck. And that would be really sad. But if you get a fat fiber box, you should tell me. We'll show them off to each other. Yay! That's really all I have. I'm excited about squishing my new yarn. I'm knitting my socks and knitting my sweater. I'm excited to get over this cold. I had this cold for too long. And I missed podcasting last week. I was really sad. I was like, I can't podcast today. I was like, I can't podcast today because I can't talk today. That's so sad. That's what I sounded like. It was pitiful. I was miserable. I don't think I was off having a blast without you guys. I wasn't. So, anyway, now that I've been rambling for several minutes about nothing, thank you guys for talking to me this week and hanging out with me. And maybe knitting while I talked. Just knitting away. Just knitting. This is how I knit when I'm showing people. Something like that. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for watching the podcast. Thanks for not abandoning me when I was gone for a week. I didn't abandon you. I was just gone for a little bit. Anyway, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Have a fantastic weekend. Maybe this is already the weekend and it's already fantastic. Probably because I'm here and hanging out with you. That's probably why it's so fantastic. Just I am. So thanks for hanging out. I love you guys. Now that I've said goodbye 6 times. I'm Rebecca. You can find me everywhere as Evil Twin 2. I am on Ravelry as Evil Twin 2, and I'm mostly on Instagram. My Instagram, everything, all the time. Instagram, Evil Twin 2. You can find the group at Owl Knit With You on Ravelry. You can find our podcast, which has links to everything, especially the show notes, at owlknitwithyou.blogspot.com. You can email me if you need to tell me something or you want to show me some cool pictures at owlknitwithyou@gmail.com. Thanks for coming, and remember, until next time, Owl Knit with You. Show me your puffs.